And Salim Waziri has told us what to expect, what is different from this year as compared to the previous 4 editions. Remember, this will be the 5th edition. So right now, I want us to get to the English Premier League, and Salim Waziri is staying with us. Yes, we take a look at the predictions that we have for the English Premier League. Salim, if you can just, join me right here. Let's begin with West Ham and Chelsea. This game at the moment is going on, so we'll not talk about that. Let's begin with Aston Villa versus Wolves.
Yeah, I think Aston Villa, they just played their first match in the Champions League in midweek.
They got a 3-0 win against Young Boys.
Young Boys, and they actually look good. You look at a player like Durant, he's scoring goals for fun. So I think Unai Emery now has made the team tick, and when you look at them play, they play actually like a unit, and I think they are going to give a lot of teams a run for their money. And against Wolves, as you've said, Wolves are languishing. It's a derby, literally. This is actually derby, and you look at the way Wolves are playing. They have lost 3 so far. That's as bad a start in the Premier League as it can get. So I think Aston Villa, playing at Villa Park, they might just be too good.
Fulham versus Newcastle.
Fulham, you never know which side will show up. That's the danger about them. But if the likes of Pereira can step up to the plate, I think, and again, bearing in mind they're playing back at home at Craven Cottage, I think Newcastle, no, it's not going to be a walk in the park. But Newcastle themselves, there's been so much hype from last season. The overtake bid that happened there, and they look like they're assembling a proper team. So this for the neutrals is a good game of football, but I think, in my opinion, it will be a draw.
Leicester versus Everton. Remember, Everton haven't won any game this season.
Yeah, and Everton, I think the way they are playing under Sean Dykes, I don't think they're going to survive this.
Do you think they'll fire him?
He has to go, because you look at there's no joy with the way they're playing. The players look like they are disinterested. They're playing in a more defensive, because we know Sean Dykes from the days he was at Burnley. He is a master of defending.
Dark tactics.
Yes, dark tactics, king of the dark tactics. So I think most of the players that are in there, they want to play some football. So it is not working for Mendes. Gotta go. But you look at Leicester, the newbies in the league this season.
Cooper has something for Leicester.
Yes.
So Liverpool lost last week to Nottingham Forest.
Yes.
They will be taking on FC Bournemouth. What were your expectations in this tie?
Bournemouth, you look at the front three, Kluivert, you look at Semenyo. It's a proper attacking up front. So, but I think Liverpool, bearing in mind, as you've said, they lost at home to Nottingham Forest last week. This is a way of redeeming themselves. I think today they'll have to make sure, Slaughter's got to make sure they collect maximum points.
Southampton versus Ipswich, 2 promoted teams into the English Premier League.
Yeah. But
they haven't got a win this season.
Yeah, and you look at Ipswich with Delap up front. Is playing some very, very good hold-up play. And I think they look good as a team, but Southampton has got to pick points. So I think, for me, Southampton might just win it.
Spurs against Brentford.
You look at Spurs, and I don't know why people keep on saying.
Remember, Spurs lost to Arsenal last week.
Absolutely. So I have no idea, because they played some very good football last season. The first 10 games, people saying they're winning.
Under Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, but I don't think it's working again for Postecoglou, because it is. Teams have found him out, but I think Spurs know that this is a match they've got to win if they have to stay within touching distance of Arsenal and City.
And of course, the tie that wraps up the day will be Crystal Palace taking on Manchester United. A very tough fixture.
Yeah, as a City fan, you know what I'm gonna say. But United, they got
a 7-0 win against Barnsley.
Against Barnsley.
Yes,
but that's Barnsley. So, but
Crystal Palace got a 2-1 win in their cup tie fixture.
Absolutely, but I think Crystal Palace, with the likes of Eze, they might cause a lot of problems for United. But United, bearing the way they look like they're getting, it is working at some point this season. Yes. They've started to gel. I think I'm putting my money on United.
Brighton, Nottingham Forest.
Brighton, a good side at home. Welbeck scoring goals, and their team that are best their possession best side. So I think at home against Forest will be cut into ribbons.
Big one of the weekend, Manchester City taking on Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium.
Christmas has just come Mali, Robinson.
Oh, I didn't know so. I had no idea.
This was a scam Mali, as they say. But I think it's a good game, again, for the neutrals. But if you look at the way City are playing, they've not lost a match so far. Yeah. Same thing to Arsenal. But I think Arsenal without Odegaard and without Declan Rice, I think Arteta will play it very, very safe because Odegaard is a man who makes Arsenal tick. But in my opinion, I think at the Etihad, Man City might just sneak it by 1-0.
Well, that is all about the English Premier League. So, Byron, let's see. Can you take a look at the fixtures for Serie A? We have big games in the Serie A. And Salim Waziri, I want you to comment on two fixtures. Inter Milan, AC Milan.
The Derby della Madonnina,
yes,
as they said. But I think you look at Inter, they played against Manchester City in midweek in the Champions League. They look like...
It was one of the best games throughout the week, despite not having goals.
Absolutely, because people are saying, how did that game end up 0-0? It is still baffling. But I think it's a good game to watch. But I think Inter might just be too good because Inter look like a complete unit right now.
And then Juventus versus Napoli. Thiago Motta versus Antonio Conte.
It's a good one because Antonio Conte has got to make Juventus feel it because they were his former employer. But then again, you look at the way Juve, Napoli are not the same side with the loss of the likes of Osimhen. They don't look like
Zielinski.
Yes, Zielinski, who I think has also gone to Inter. He's now at Inter Milan. Yes. They don't look like the same side. So Juventus, I think playing at home, I'm going for a draw, but I think something might just go either way because there are teams that have not actually set up in the league so far. They're not playing some brilliant football.
So, Byron, from Serie A, let's go to Bundesliga. Let's take a look at what is happening in Bundesliga. And we have a couple of matches in the Bundesliga. And Salim, I want to bring your attention to this. Leverkusen versus Wolfsburg.
Yeah, Leverkusen... Under Alonso, again this season, they're playing the same brand of football. And I think against Wolfsburg, it's a match that has over the years in the Bundesliga.
It's a high-scoring tie.
Absolutely. A 3-3 or 4-4. But I think Leverkusen look the part. They'll be too good for Wolfsburg this afternoon.
Let me ask you, what do you think about Dortmund? I mean, this is a team that we've seen, they offload players, they bring in young players, but they're always shy.
Yeah. I think it's just a model. It's just a way Dortmund has played football over the years. And you look at the players like we are talking about the Marco Reus of this world. Every time they don that yellow jersey, they are just magicians. But you look at Dortmund, they profile players based on the kind of football they play. So whoever leaves, the Gundogans left, and everyone else, they made sure they replace them with players who play the same brand of football. And that is what makes them compete season in, season out.
And La Liga, we have a couple of matches that have been lined up for the weekend. Valladolid will be taking on Real Sociedad. Osasuna in action against Las Palmas. Valencia take on Girona. Real Madrid faces Espanyol. Getafe will be in action against Leganés. Athletic Bilbao will be taking on Celta Vigo. Villarreal face Barcelona. Rayo Vallecano take on Atletico, and Real Betis take on Mallorca. Now, Salim, as we wind up, Barcelona, we've seen them. It's a rebuilding process, and we've seen what Hansi Flick has done with this Catalan side. I mean, each time you watch them, there's a 17-year-old from La Masia playing.
Absolutely. And you look at Barca, they played midweek. The red card to Eric Garcia was their biggest undoing. But then again, Lamine Yamal stepped up again to become the youngest kid to ever score in a Champions League match. But then again, you look at Barcelona, it's the way they believe in the La Masia Academy, the likes of Pedri, they're still in there, the Gavis of this world. Yes, so it's a team that has believed in La Masia so much, and La Masia has become, to them, it's just a gift that keeps on giving, Robinson. So I think they're in a rebuilding process, but when you look at it, it's kind of working to some levels because they have gotten the Iniesta in Gavi, the Xavi in Pedri. So I think over the years, in a couple of 1 or 2 seasons, they might just be right there to compete again.
As we wind up, Waziri Super Cup 2024, what should we look forward to?
It's just the after party.
Not even the football.
The football has been there for over the years, but then again, it is something we have added more into the tournament to make sure, because the locals keep on saying.
Are you bringing in scouts?
Yeah, we want to bring in scouts from all the teams in the Premier League. And then a friend of ours who is at West Ham is a coach. It's called Sos Lokio. Will also be part of the tournament to just make sure that he can tap a couple of talents. But then again, it's just to look forward to the entertainment at the end of it all. But then most importantly, it's just the goals and the tackles that come with Waziri Super Cup.
Well, thank you very much, Salim Waziri, the founder of Waziri Super Cup. He's looking forward to the after party. But myself, I'm looking forward to the football action. And of course, we know that this is a tournament that will be taking place in 3 months. So we'll be looking forward to what happens on the ground in Webuye, the 5th edition of the Waziri Super Cup. And he's told us what to expect throughout the 3 months. And probably if we have some players that will be scouted to go and play, apply their trade outside the country. That is where we wrap up Scoreline this afternoon. My name is Robinson Okenye. Have a good afternoon.